the first thing is I'm so happy because as Kiranji told in the beginning, leadership is something that each one of us has been practicing and it's my subject. The only difference is that most of the speakers, or rather all the speakers, were telling their examples. I'm going to tell others examples. So for me, it's more theory, but the good part is that consultants have this lovely job of studying others and telling it to the third person and telling them this is how leadership works. So when the topic was given to me, and I was quite happy when I spoke to Rajeshwar also that what is this topic given to me, because it's a very strange topic if you look at it. It's saying that can Chanakya really yank us out of this mess? Then I started asking, let us define the mess first. I think everybody has got some mess. If you are a married person with two small kids, when you go home, it's a mess, right? You go to the office, it's a mess. If you look at a country, it's a mess. Not only our country, and that's where leaders' role is to not just understand the mess, but probably bring some methodology into that madness. So I said, okay, let me not look at which mess, but probably look at a framework from which each one of us sitting can solve any mess. So rather than telling, Chanakya can solve, as you rightly pointed out, a political problem, a country's problem, an economic problem, a घर का problem या मेरा problem. Problem कुछ भी रहे, इस framework में डाल दो, and you can clear it. So I'm going to speak a few insights into Arthashastra. I'm not going to take a technical lecture on Arthashastra, even though by God's grace I've been trying to do that in the University of Mumbai. But let me start with a traditional story, a storytelling, right? It's a very traditional story which I think most of us know in India. There was this great kingdom, and the kingdom had a Rakshasa as the Raja. So when you have the Rakshasa as the Raja, everything is a mess. And the name of this Raja was Hiranyakashipu. I'm sure everybody heard about him. Now all the noble people are unhappy with bad governance and a bad king, and they don't know what to do. So he's the villain. The villain is ruling the city. The underworld has taken over, or whatever you must put it. They don't know what to do. So good men don't act, they pray. It's a traditional thing. They don't know what to do, so they pray. And they go to this great Lord Vishnu, who is supposed to be the maintainer, of the whole. So that's why they go to him and say, Narayanji, problem. What is the problem? So this leader, Hiranyakashipu, everything is bad, everything is a problem, everything is messy, what to do. But the great God knows that every problem has a solution, right? But the good part about leadership is that a leader relaxes, he puts the number 2 into action. So he looks at who is the right person for the right job. HR people, right? So looks at, okay, there is one guy, very nice guy, he can get an entry anywhere. And his name is Narad Muni. Come here, okay. Project management, go. Solve this problem called Hiranyakashipu, bad king. Okay. So, one thing about Lord Narad Muni is that he can enter anywhere. All the 3 worlds, Asur log ke jagah mein ja sakta hai, Devta log mein, free entry. And everybody likes him. So he enters. But the first thing about strategy is that study the problem carefully. Don't just act. As Khairanaji also beautifully put it, I want to study, understand, get the statistics right. And then you look at a device where you can actually solve the problem. I mean, all management gurus, including the great person sitting over here, they say, before you act, it's important to not only study the problem, but also the person around the problem. So Naradji gets into Hiranyakashipu's kingdom, and he's got a free entry into the court, no visa required, no security check-in. He goes in and says, okay, he studies, and say, okay. He comes back and say, problem solved. Huh? Problem to abhi bhi dikhta hai. Okay, problem solved. I know what to do. But all the people come and say, no, he's still the king, he's messing around. Don't worry, I found the solution. You know what is the solution? Hiranyakashipu's wife is pregnant. Hiranyakashipu's wife is pregnant. I made him an offer. What? When ladies get pregnant in India, they go to the mother's place. They are taken care very well. Because mother-in-law versus mother is very different, right? So mother will give a nice food, everything. The right ambience where the mood is right, the child is brought up rightly. So I give an offer saying that I'll take your wife and I will take care of her in my ashram. And this is, it seems, one of the scholars told probably the first time that Narad stayed in a place for more than 3 months, 3 or 6 months. He is supposed to be going around, right? And then He goes, and everybody can trust Narad. Even though he's a mischievous, they know he won't do anything wrong. He goes there, the lady is pregnant, and then he does nothing but all the stories he tells and everything about Lord Vishnu, great devotee of Vishnu, and sends her back. A lot of people say, what are you trying to do? Saying, I already solved the problem, you don't have to see it. I said, no, please explain. He said, listen, very simple. You see a problem now, what's around. I see a solution for a problem of the future. Do you know Hiranyakashipu is a king and the king's son will become the king? So when this mother is pregnant, I have already given him the leadership knowledge in what we call as Garbha Samskar. And by the way, the child grows up in a demonic kingdom, but he's doing satsang, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. And the father gets angry, why are you taking that villain's name? He's my enemy, Narayan. And by the way, if you know, he starts changing the society around. And by the way, he's a prince to be king. He just turns around the society in a small way. And by the way, if you know, this son who is born is called Prahlad. And then finally Lord comes in the form of Narsimha, kills him. But what is very important to understand is that when Prahlad becomes the king, we have the golden era of that particular kingdom. Now what's the strategy over here? Everything may be in sixes and sevens, everything may be in a mess, but if you can look at leadership being developed for the next generation, you have a solution. Friends, in our particular country, every time when there's a problem, we have always looked at where the solution is, and let me tell you, the solution is about leadership. Now, leadership is not just about being king. Now, each one of us sitting over here is a leader in a small way. You may be leading a small house, but you're still a leader. A small company or a big country, it doesn't matter. So friends, I want to tell you that this particular country has got a lot of literature on leadership. And I'm so happy that, we brought out such a beautiful magazine called Leadership Review. And let me tell you that both words are important in leadership. Leadership by itself, but leadership without review is not leadership. You have to review it weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever. So, I did my review of the Indian knowledge of leadership, and let me tell you, I found Kautilya's Arthashastra, 6,000 sutras on leadership, how to train. So, I'm going to give you a few insights, and that will be my remaining 10 minutes on that. I will just give you some tips because I'm not here to tell you what I have done, but I can tell you where we have the solutions of leadership and the great literature. The greatest literature on the biggest problem of a leader is in Mahabharata. So what is the greatest problem? Our Shastras say it is Dharma Sankat, isn't it? So what is Dharma? You may be the greatest warrior. If you look at Arjuna, now Arjuna was the most skilled warrior and he had a strategist on his side, Krishna, but he was morally down. He did not want to see. He didn't want to fight the problem because there is a Dharma Sankat. So this whole thing about what is Dharma for a leader has been defined by Bhishma in Mahabharata towards the end of Mahabharata, when he is advising the Pandavas about what is Dharma. So I will just leave over here a tip. Please read the Shanti Parva and Bhishma's advice, and believe me, it's thousands and thousands of sutras. You can go on and on and on. But I'm not going to talk about the philosophical side of it. The refined version was studied by Chanakya in the 4th century BC, and he looked at the problem. He found the solutions for his generation. It was a mess. There's a bad king called Dhananan, and there was an external enemy called Alexander. He put everything into place. And then he wrote this book called Kautilya's Arthashastra. It's almost like a written document for others to refer. So I'm going to just share 5 points of what I have understood, what we can do in a mess. The first thing is that training is very important in leadership. Yeah, the solution is leadership, but leaders, how do you actually identify them? How do you do it? The first thing is that we need to believe in training, because as Kiranji was also telling us, where is the next generation of leaders going to come from? We have a system of how people become IAS officers, IPS officers, how people become a corporate leader, but do we have something in that? Interestingly, I'm already doing that in Mumbai University. We got 5 batches of people trained in Arthashastra, and by the way, they're very successful in the political world. So it's a great idea that she's able. We're already doing that in the university. But one question that people debate, especially in the leadership field, is that are leaders born or are leaders trained, isn't it?
Created.
So here is the answer. Somebody so beautifully put it, saying that born leaders should be trained. But the key question is that how do you know whether there is a born leader? Train everybody, the one with the birth will come anyways. But not training is a problem. So today, if you look at it, most of the successful companies, they have budgets for training, isn't it? And training is the first thing, and especially when you work in multinational, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 things in a budget, and training is the most important. So it's important to identify leaders, but don't worry whether you're not identified the leaders, but keep training, the right leaders will come. For example, Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya was identified by Chanakya and he became the king. But many of us forget that Chandragupta Maurya was not the only student of Chanakya, right? He's trained many, and many of them became smaller kings. Everybody may not become the prime minister or the president of this country, but you require an MLA also, and a panchayat leader also, right? So you have to train in leadership. That's what Chanakya believed in. So the question is that if you have a problem somewhere in your organization, have you started your leadership training? The leadership training need not be only the Ivy League class. It can be small. You can call these great people and just let them share their experiences. You never know what can trigger. The second beautiful concept about solving a problem in mess and especially leadership is called Vriddha Sanyoga. I'm giving a very technical word in Sanskrit. Never do anything alone. Okay? I'm not telling you do with your team members. Vriddha. Vriddha means experienced and knowledgeable people. A good leader will be always surrounded with more knowledgeable people. So if you're in a company, surround yourself with experts of that particular field. So if there is a problem, they will come and brainstorm along with them. And if you look at all leaders, they have two types of teams. The teams that work under them and the team that guides them. They could be technical, they could be spiritual gurus or whatever you want to call it. So if you're in touch with people who are better than you, so if you look at it, you're just telling that you train IPS officers or whatever. Now these people, the young generation, doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. They can listen to stories, have the experience and do it. And I always say, a daughter always gets the best of leadership training after she's married and when she's going to become a mother from her mother. So when you're like typical Indian culture, आपको शादी करना है, उस घर पे जाना है, everything. But the thing is that when you go over there, you require that special tip how to handle that situation, right? कितना नमक डालना है, husband को कैसे manage करना है. That time she will give a call. The thing is that you may be trained in leadership from your Ivy schools or even a management training, but when you're in a problem, you still need to refer them back. That's called Vriddha Sanyoga. And we always tell that friends, wherever you have the so-called experts, be in touch with them. You can call them in your advisory board or try to involve them in some way or the other. It's important because they have the experience and they'll tell you. They may tell their stories, but from their stories you may get an insight to solve your current day problem. The problems may be different. His generation would have been different from yours, but remember, knowledge and experience can be transferred from one generation to another. The third as a concept that comes in Arthashastra for leadership is one of the most unique contributions in world level is a concept called Raja Rishi. A leader is not just a leader or a Raja. We have a combination of a philosopher king in this particular country, right? Raja and Rishi. So he has to be moral, a man or a woman of integrity. And only when you are having the understanding of a Raja Rishi, where you are materially successful and also spiritually successful, can you actually solve Dharma Sankat. In India, we have this concept of Dharma Yuddha also. It's very important to understand, it is not just war against somebody and just winning over. We have rules. And sometimes it's important to go beyond the rules also. But the fact is that in our country, we say if you're a Raja Rishi, you need to understand the rules of the game, but your moral integrity is also important. And how many of you are aware that the game of chess was actually invented by Chanakya and of course modified now? And if you look at Arthashastra, out of 15 books of Arthashastra, almost 7 to 8 books, which is close to 4,000 sutras, are about warfare. Samadana, Danda, Bheda, Dushman ka Dushman, those, all this. But what is a very important thing is that when he invented the game of chess, which is probably the world's first strategy game, it is also played with rules. And one most important rule is that how do you win the game of chess? What is the last move called? The last move is never killing the opponent. It is called checkmate. And what is the interesting part? You can kill everybody, but not the king. Not the king. Because the king has to be respected as a king. That's it, right? So when Alexander had defeated Porus, there's a very famous story, bought him in front of, how should I treat you? Simple. Treat me like a king treats a king. In India, it's very simple, and Alexander gets confused. What do you mean? You're my prisoner. I may be a prisoner, but I'm a king. Respect your competitors. You may have bought over their company. Remember one thing. He was a person who handled that company to this level before you bought it out, right? And I will tell you a traditional story. I come from Kerala, and some of you are from Kerala. One of the greatest leadership models during the British or the pre-British era you find in many places in this particular country, and one of them is from Kerala. Do you know, when the Britishers were trying to attack and conquer many parts of India, this is a very historical record in Kerala. The Britishers sent a letter, okay, and they said, we want to go and conquer you, please surrender, otherwise we'll attack you and all those things. So this king had a Mantri Parishad meeting. Now, kya karna chahiye? So of course everybody says, we will not surrender, let's fight it out and all those things. So this king and his ministers sent a letter back. And said, of course we are ready to fight. But 24 rules how we are going to fight. The Britishers said, kya hai? You know what are the rules? It's in Malayalam, you can try it in one of the most fantastic work on how we fought battles and how the external people looked at it. So rule number 1, we will fight from morning sunrise to sunset, not after that. You're telling us how to fight. You're an external. Second, we will fight outskirts of the village and the kingdom. This school will go on, the woman will cook in the family, they will have agriculture. Don't attack them. there. Okay, by the way, after sunset you can come home and have food also with us. Hum will give you the best delicacy, some Kerala art also. They said, hey, this is war invitation or what? Indian mind will understand this very easily. Foreign mind cannot. When Colonel Bakshi Sahab was telling, remember, prisoners of war, we conquered 93,000 people and they were all safe. This we can't understand till we understand our roots of values. It was very easy for them. We won the war and let go them. I'll defeat you. So chess is not about surrender, it's about defeating, but still respecting the enemy. See, this is leadership in a very different way. Fourth point, Chanakya says, which I think most of us know about it, leaders are always continuous learners. You don't just limit yourself with your domain knowledge. Today in the university, I come from the Mumbai University, the most successful courses are interdisciplinary approach, isn't it? So I may be psychologist. Okay, so here is a management guy. So management, psychology, organizational behavior, successful. In Arthashastra, there are 180 topics that the king has to learn for becoming a leader. 180 topics, and you'll be surprised. Gemology, Ayurveda, astronomy, astrology, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Sankhya, Yoga. You go on and say, is the king supposed to know so many? He may not be an expert of all these fields, but he still needs to know. And he can have experts advising him for those particular technical subjects. The fifth point, which is very important in leadership according to him, is documentation. We need to create systems and processes for continuation. You may have created a great kingdom, but the fact remains is that, can your kingdom continue in the way you created it? Can your company continue the way you created it? So it's documentation. And probably Indians need to get into that habit. If you look at some of the most developed countries, I think the way they process it, they make manuals out of it, they make SOPs out of it, standard operating processes. That is what Chanakya did. He created a great empire of that particular time. He made Chandragupta Maurya the king, but he also wrote a book called Arthashastra. All your experiences is documented it so that the future generations can also work on it. See, one of the problems that I see with IPS, IAS officers, especially successful them, and we had many of them over here. They do it best, but there is always a problem of continuity, isn't it? Can the next person do it? So what is important that I'm not sure the next person can do it or no, that's a different question. But did I succeed? Yes, then document it. I would suggest each one of you, please document your stories. Doesn't matter who's going to read it. There's Sheruji over here. He's written so much article about management. See, when I was a management student, if he had not written, he's got a legacy of literature that is created for the generations to come. I would suggest with Leadership Review as a magazine, if you can contribute your stories, I'm sure the editors will be happy. But please write and document your experiences of future generations to come. Okay, friends. But the last point I'd like to make, I've done 5 points, which is leaders should be trained. Of course, born leaders should be trained better. Vriddha Sanyoga, Rajarishi, leaders should be learners, and documentation. But let me stop with one last example. There is a very profound question that comes in Mahabharata. Do leaders create an era or do the era create a leader? Okay? When the right time comes, the right leader emerges, or when the leader emerges, a good time comes? Which is first? Chicken and egg situation, right? जब समय आता है तो राजा आता है, या जब राजा आता है तो अच्छा समय आता है? What do you think the answer is?
Probably both.
Exactly. You'll be surprised. We think it's both. And Bhishma says in the Mahabharata, don't even have an iota of doubt about this. Na samshayati. Don't even think about it. The answer is Raja Kalasya Karanam.